For many, many moons, Kirk JEROME Ezekiel Cousins has sort of been the problem with the Minnesota Vikings. When he signed here as a free agent in 2018, the Tim Pot Pizza Ranch dictator wasn't really finding his way, was taking up too much of the salary cap, and it really was the Kirk locker, right? But this year, even though black and white stats-wise, Kirk isn't bowling like he had been as a garbage time stat-stuffing quarterback in previous years, but Kirk Cousins is getting it done in the clutch. He's got some swag this year. He's a true blue leader of the team, and he's playing some of the best football of his career. And yes, they certainly are getting it done. And Justin Jefferson rightly gets all the love, but he's not throwing the ball to himself. But, of course, the national media can't give Kirk Cousins any credit at all unless they're making fun of him. So that's why he's not getting the time of day. That's why Kirk Cousins, even though it does seem like the Vikings do have this golden opportunity. Yes, they're 10-3. Sunday's loss certainly stunk, but I think that Sunday's loss was a culmination of what's been going on all season, and that the defense literally cannot stop anyone. And now it's been glossed over and patched over because the Vikings were getting some sacks. Zadarius had 3 sacks against Arizona, which is awesome. The Vikings have 4 different games that were ended with a defensive turnover. And it was like, oh, here we go. But they're still dead last in yards allowed. They're 24th in points allowed. And it's just been too easy. And it's really unfortunate because it does seem like they're wasting a golden opportunity with Kirk Cousins playing the way that he is. Because, like I said, stats-wise, he's been sort of mid. But 3,358 yards passing, completing 65.5% of his passes, 6.9 yards per attempt. Nice, 20 touchdowns, did have the 9 picks, whatever. 91.2 quarterback rating isn't anything to write home about. But the 53.3 QBR, it's pretty solid, and it means that Kirk Cousins is getting things done in the clutch. And if you look this season, Kirk Cousins' fourth quarter comebacks as well as game-winning drives, he's got 6. The first Lions game, the Saints game, the Bears game against the Commies, of course, the Buffalo Bills, and then the New England Patriots. Now, he probably should have gotten credit for one against the Jets, except he just added the brace, adding on to the lead there, and then the defense sort of took over in that one, or Mike White took over in that one. I don't know, but it's just really frustrating. It is really frustrating where we can't have two things at the same time, where Kirk Cousins was an issue when the defense was good in 2018 and when Zimmer was still here. And then Kirk Cousins became average, and then the defense fell off the face of the earth the last 2 years. And now Kirk Cousins is playing some of the clutchest football of his career. Him and Justin Jefferson truly are becoming a true blue, amazing connection. And now the defense just is absolute garbage. It's absolute garbaggio. And It really does make you think, because Kirk Cousins, he's 34 this year. They're probably going to extend him in the offseason, rightfully so. Kirk Cousins has not been the problem this season at all. And I think the Vikings, if they want to win a Super Bowl, Kirk does give them the best shot over the next 2 to 3 years. So what's going to happen now? Because obviously they're going to re-sign Jefferson. Obviously they're going to try and keep that offensive line intact. Maybe they re-sign Bradbury this offseason. But defensively, they have to get their ish together. And it's not necessarily talent. I mean, on paper, the Vikings defense is a talented unit. Just getting more aggressive, whether it's scheme, whether it's implementation, whether it's play calling, whatever. But they have to get after it on that side of the ball, because you can't rely on Jefferson and Kirk Cousins trying to drag your ass out of the fire every single time. And the Vikings, I'll say it right now, the way that Kirk Cousins is playing this year, you can win a Super Bowl with this version of Kirk Cousins. And I think that his prime, he probably has 2 or 3 years left of his prime before he falls off the face of the earth, becomes a Matt Ryan, or hell, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he stays in shape. He's a tough dude. I mean, maybe he does have a Tom Brady-esque finish to his career in terms of staying in shape. It's possible. It's certainly possible. But, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he doesn't get enough credit for being a tough-ass quarterback. He stands tall in the pocket. He delivers dimes at times, and he's one of the reasons why the Vikings are being able to keep up with the Joneses this season. Because if you look, I mean, if you didn't have Kirk Cousins, like if you just had an average quarterback, if you're just doing one of those analytics swaps, like what's the Vikings record? What 5-8, maybe 4-9, maybe. But Kirk is not the problem. The problem is the defense right now. But if the defense can shore things up, the offense can stand and trade with anyone in the National Football League. Well, maybe not the Eagles and the Cowboys. But I truly believe that, hey, If the defense can be opportunistic, if they can get back to generating a turnover or two and getting some actual pressure on the opposing quarterbacks, stealing back a possession and giving it back to this offense, I do believe that Kirk Cousins and Justin friggin' Jefferson can do some damage this year. So we'll see. I'm not ready to say that they've completely squandered and wasted the best version of Kirk Cousins, but if nothing is done about the defense during this season as well as into the offseason into next year, then I think it could be legit. But your thoughts are thoughts. Are the Vikings wasting the best of Kirk Cousins? Question mark. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.